The Ducks have a hidden gem. We get into exactly who that is in this edition of Ducks Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 19% of the ones who are watching these videos who have already hit the sub button, but 81% of you have not subscribed yet. We're the newest Anaheim Ducks YouTube channel, bringing you everyday Ducks content, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. But as we know, the Ducks are a team that is, retooling, trying to get back into the playoff conversation. That is the goal for next season. But it's never too early. It's never, too early to start looking at the future, right? And the Ducks have an interesting player coming up that I think everybody should keep an eye on. Anaheim Ducks prospect taking his talents to the OHL's Flint Firebirds. We got this article from Yahoo. On August 13th last week, the Firebirds organization announced the signing of Latvian defenseman Darels Uljanskis, I think that's how you pronounce it, Uljanskis, to a standard player agreement. Flint traded with Gulf Storm to acquire the 5th overall selection in the 2025 CHL import draft, and they used that to draft Uljanskis. And Uljanskis, as we know, is a Ducks draft pick. This guy, 6'2", 194 pounds, still a very young player. A left-handed shot defenseman, is an Anaheim Ducks draft pick. Was selected 214th overall in the 7th round of the 2024 draft. And last year had a great season playing junior hockey out in Sweden. As you can see, saw an increase in his plus-minus rating of plus 12 compared to plus 1 just a season ago. So had a big jump in his first year since being drafted by an NHL team. Of course, the Ducks are going to be watching him closely now that he's going to be going to the OHL, playing in a higher level of hockey. Still years away from going, playing for the Ducks, or years away from making it to the AHL. But I think this guy is an interesting player because, as we know, the size is there, right? I think the Ducks are quietly drafting very good defensemen, basically drafting very good players at every position. And that's why you have to feel confident that in the next 4 to 5 years, the Ducks will once again be contending for a Stanley Cup with all the players that they have been picking up, all the draft picks. It's just the way sports works. It's the way the modern NHL works. With the new salary cap era, eventually you will get better with all the picks that you have and, the way that the system is set up. The Ducks are destined to once again be a good team. I know it's kind of hard to believe right now because the Ducks are still not quite there, right? The Ducks are not yet Stanley Cup contenders. Unfortunately, not next season. Doesn't look likely that they win the Stanley Cup. But, the goal is first to make the playoffs, right? I think that's going to be the big accomplishment for the Ducks when they eventually do that. If it's next season, if it's the season after, when the Ducks finally make the playoffs, that's going to be, an accomplishment. Kind of like, other teams have gone through. I mean, the Ducks are not the first team to go through a major rebuild, because this is a major rebuild. The Ducks have gone through hell and back when it comes to rebuilding, basically having to start over from nothing. 2018, last time in the playoffs, and then they basically just fell off after that and became one of the NHL's worst teams, unfortunately, and had to sell off most of the team. Most of the team was basically dumped, traded away, let go. Players retired. It's been, a brand new team. Coaches being fired, right? GMs being fired. It's been rough the last 8 years, 8 years for the Ducks, to say the least. But things are looking up. And like this player, like I said, this guy is somebody you should keep an eye on. 6'2" defenseman who's looking pretty good at the junior hockey level. Uljanskis, 18 years old, a native of Riga, Latvia. Spent the last 4 years playing in Sweden. And last season playing for the AIK organization in Sweden's top junior league. He led his team in points amongst defensemen with 9 goals and 30 assists in 44 games, which is obviously the kind of numbers you're going to have at this level if you want to have a shot at the NHL. I mean, you have to dominate junior hockey if you want to have a shot at being an NHL player, right? So, you cannot, of course, look too much into these numbers. I mean, they're good numbers. They're obviously numbers that you want to see, like I said, at this level. He additionally suited up in one game for the AIK in Sweden's second-tier men's league, Allsvenskan. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't speak Swedish, but, that's, of course, super good news for Uljanskis, a player that we have to keep an eye on for sure. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Ducks promotional schedule, which was announced yesterday. And as Ducks fans, we always have to keep an eye on this, right? Because we got to know when we're going to be at Honda Center. When are we going to be at Honda Center for these promotional nights? And this year, it wasn't, I think the announcement was a bit of a dud. I mean, we don't really have the best giveaways like in other years. But I'll kind of talk a little bit about the most important ones for the rest of this video. But the Ducks have revealed their 2025-2026 promotional schedule featuring 23 giveaway and theme nights at Honda Center. And opening night, fans are going to get a Wild Wing mask. So, I mean, that is pretty awesome, right? I mean, think about that. First home game, it's a Tuesday night against the Pittsburgh Penguins, who, usually have a lot of Penguins fans coming to Honda Center whenever they play Pittsburgh, mainly because of Sidney Crosby. The guy, as we know, is a future Hall of Famer and still, really pulls in a lot of fans everywhere he goes, right? So that first night, they're going to be giving away a Wild Wing mask. So that's pretty cool. We know Wild Wing, come on, the best mascot in the NHL. The guy's fucking awesome, right? I mean, come on. I mean, Wild Wing has always been one of my favorites. It's one of the reasons why I became a Ducks fan all those years ago, I should say, right? I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of us as kids started watching the Ducks, right? Because of Wild Wing. So, it's pretty awesome that the Ducks are going to be giving away a mask on the first night. If you're going to be in Southern California around that time, Tuesday the 14th, if I'm not mistaken, you got to be at Honda Center, right? You got to go there, cheer on the Ducks for that first home game. It's going to be the Ducks' third game of the season. They're going to play, of course, in Seattle and then in San Jose for the first couple games. Then they have a couple days off, and then they're going to be in Anaheim. So got to go there, got to support, because the Ducks got to get off to a good start. That is, of course, the goal for this season, getting off to a good start. But other giveaways, like I said, not too much good ones this year. I think a luggage tag given out on the 17th, a boy band T-shirt during the Y2K themed New Year's Eve game. So there's going to be a New Year's Eve game this year. It's going to be an early one, too, 1 o'clock, so you can still go to your New Year's Eve parties. Or if you're like me, you're going to New Year's Eve shows. But yeah, it's going to be an early start on that New Year's Eve. There's a wearable blanket, I think, on the 19th. And then there's going to be mini fingerboards on the 1st and February 1st and March 4th. So, yeah, not really the best giveaways this year. A little bit disappointed with that. But what do you think of the Ducks this year? Giveaways? Are you excited? What are you looking forward to this year? I mean, how many of you are actually going to Honda Center that first night? I want to know. Comment below. But as always, thanks a lot for everybody who always watches all these videos and likes them. And tell your friends who are Ducks fans to subscribe. And, yeah, let's go Ducks.